To use accredited labs or not to use accredited labs? That is the question. Whether a company is in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous thoroughness, or to take arms against a sea of variation, and by opposing and them, to fail to conform. Oh, hi there. Today we are going to speak about accreditation. Well, as I just said, today we're going to speak about accreditation. And why are we doing this? Well, today I'm starting a new series called The ABC of Product Compliance for all the English-speaking audience who couldn't join listening into the Einmaleins des Produktsicherheitsrechts. I hope you will enjoy this series and, well, just start with it. So, first of all, I have to clarify what accreditation means. Accreditation means that a laboratory has been proven the competence to properly test a certain type of equipment. How is this done? Well, this is typically done by a national accreditation body, which has been named by usually the state the lab is in. And what does this body check for? Well, it's checking for that the lab has the proper equipment, that the testing conditions are correct, so that vulnerable goods are not tested under a leaky roof. It's testing, or it's checking if product samples are handled properly so they don't get damaged while transportation. And most of all, or what they are looking very closely into, is if the technical staff is properly trained and competent enough to do the testing as is described in the technical standards. So this is what accreditation is. You may ask, what's the benefit of using an accredited lab? Well, there is 3 major benefits in my mind. First of all is to minimize risks. So you don't want to supply a faulty product, so you want to have it tested properly, and by going to an accredited lab you usually make sure that it is tested exactly according to the technical standards, or if you want to get a bit further, according to the current technical state of things. Second, you want to enhance your customers' confidence. So customers usually rely on independent checks before purchasing goods from you. So if you can give them a test report from a test laboratory which has been independently tested or accredited by this national accreditation body, this gives them more reason to believe you, to believe the test report, and therefore it enhances the trust level between you and your customer. Thirdly, and that's a point very specific to EU regulations, having test reports from accredited laboratories gives you a presumption of conformity. So it is the test reports are seen as correct when they are being produced by accredited labs. So national authorities have to take the results as they are. They are not really allowed to trust. Of course, they can retest and then question, but it's not on you to verify that what you have in writing in your test report is correct. by choosing an accredited test laboratory, you have already done that. So what is it that you should look for? Well, you might know the ISO 9001. That's something you could look for when searching for an accredited lab, but the main standard that you have to look for is the ISO or IEC 17025 standard. That's the standard that describes how an accredited lab should work. And you should not only look for the standard, but you should ask the testing laboratory from which you want to have test reports produced to give you the accreditation certificate. So usually when accreditation is successfully completed, the accreditation body gives a certificate to the lab, which can then be presented to you. In some countries, these testing or these accreditation documents are also publicly available. So in case you find something fishy with the lab you're working with, or you might have a test report in front of you from one of your suppliers and you don't feel that it has a proper form or that the contents might be wrong, it's a good chance, especially for Asian countries, to check if the lab, which is stated on the test report, has proper accreditation, and that can be looked up via Google or Bing, and often you will find if this lab has an accreditation. And when doing so, you have to take in mind that an accreditation is only valid for a certain area of testing. So a test lab that is accredited for testing PV modules might not be also accredited for testing motorcycles. So when you are checking and when you are asking for this accreditation documentation, you should check if the accreditation or this accredited lab has the right accreditation for your purpose. So that's it for today. I wish you a pleasant week, and next week we will continue with B for Blue Guide. Bye.